trading season is over, we'll recap the deals. A traditional power is scrambling to qualify for the postseason. And is ECHL team number 28 closer to becoming a reality? You can't be surprised that everyone's standing and cheering. That's because it's time for another ECHL week.
Hi, welcome to another edition of ECHL Week, coming to you this time from the Huntington Center in Toledo, Ohio, home of the Toledo Walleye. He said, yeah. Spike had to leave because he had another appointment, but if he was still here, he'd tell you to keep watching, because there's big news this week in the ECHL. Wheeling and dealing, that's what the first week of March was all about. In a month which was comparable by comparison to previous seasons, some 25 players on 20 teams changed addresses in the week leading up to the end of the ECHL trading period. The Atlanta Gladiators and Allen Americans were among the active contending teams leading up to the deal deadline on Thursday, as numerous clubs positioned themselves for the stretch drive of the regular season and beyond. The Glads and Americans each brought in 3 new players, with Allen acquiring one who's returning to his home state. However, perhaps the most notable deal had the Manchester Monarchs sending their former captain, veteran forward Ashton Rome, who has nearly 300 games of AHL experience, to Worcester for Justin Augusta, a defenseman who started the ECHL All-Star Game a season ago. In another deal involving veterans, the Gladiators acquired forward Mathieu Aubin from Allen in exchange for Alexandre Carrier. Aubin has nearly 600 ECHL games under his belt, plus nearly 100 pro playoff appearances since breaking into the league with Cincinnati in 2006. Carrier, known more for his toughness than his scoring prowess, will be joining his 8th ECHL club. Wichita worked towards securing its playoff status by obtaining forward Braden Lowe from Quad City in exchange for forward Nick Bly and future considerations. Lowe was the Mallards' leading scorer. Bly will be joining team number 3 this season. Quad City, by far the most active seller in the last week, also sent the rights to Sam Warning, currently in the AHL, to Florida for another forward, Quentin Shore, who had 27 points in 45 games for the Everblades this season. Atlanta also added both goaltender Carmine Guerrero from Manchester and Brandon Truk from Greenville for future considerations. Truk is a point-per-game player. Guerrero trade is notable because the former University of Alabama Huntsville Charger will be joining his 5th ECHL team this season. Allen picked up a former American, forward Tristan King, who's played for 9 ECHL teams and was one of Quad City's top scorers this season. In return, the Mallards, who won't be making the playoffs, acquired rookie forward Connor Riley. Jacksonville, making a late run for a South Division playoff spot, grabbed defenseman Kyle Bigos from the Mallards for future considerations. Idaho picked up big-bodied Jack Nevins from Greenville for futures. The 24-year-old forward has played in more than 100 games in both the ECHL and AHL. Allen also picked up some forward depth by acquiring J.C. Campagna, a 6'4" Dallas, Texas native, from Wheeling. And playoff-bound South Carolina made a depth pickup, getting Evan Newgold from Adirondack for futures. Almost without exception, the trades mirrored what's normally seen this time of year, with most teams trying to add what they deem necessary to get to and then succeed in the postseason. Meanwhile, the few teams out of the playoff picture dealt with an eye on getting younger players with potential in order to start building next season's rosters. Note that teams will still be adding graduating college players up until playoff rosters are submitted to the league on April 9th.
A traditional ECHL power is in a battle to qualify for the postseason. That's next on ECHL Week.
Planning the right amount of food is hard. The Guestimator makes it easy. Just tell it who's coming and what's for dinner. Then it tells you how much to make. And yes, it even plans for leftovers. Try it at SaveTheFood.com.
Hi, I'm Ben Masella of the Worcester Railers, and you can tweet me at Chicken Masella.
Kelly Cup champs in their first 2 years and Mountain Division regular season champions a season ago, the Allen Americans are in an unusual position, a heated race for a playoff spot. Right now, Tulsa, Utah, and the Americans are battling for one postseason berth. Allen left wing Brian Moore and defenseman Miles Liberati identify what the team must do to reach the Kelly Cup playoffs.
I think we just gotta get pucks in and play our game. We got a physical team. We got a lot of speed, and I don't think we've been using our advantages that we have and throughout our lineup. I think our speed is one of the huge assets that we have, and we just gotta take it to the other teams.
I think we got to stay consistent. We've had a couple blips in our season of some losing streaks from not playing too consistent. I think if we get that going, we'll be fine.
Veteran Allen head coach Steve Martinson talks about roster challenges and how they differ from the regular season to the playoffs.
Well, the playoffs you get to carry a few more players, and you can kind of make up your depth at the end of the year. It's easier to pick up some depth from colleges and junior programs and Canadian college. So during the season it's a little bit harder to rebound from that. But in the playoffs, if your key guys get hurt, you got to have depth. When we've had success, we've always had depth, but we've been lucky enough to have some of our top guys not get hurt during the playoffs.
One thing which might work in the Americans' favor is that they like where they play and appreciate the support of their fans.
We have, we're lucky there that they have won 4 championships now, and I was part of one of them in 2016. It's really special. The crowd's really good there, and they really treat us well, and it's a really special place to play.
We got a lot of great fans that really do a lot of things for us and help us throughout the community and provide us with a lot of things. And those families do a lot, and I think that's one of the big reasons a lot of guys want to play in Allen. And the town's great. We got nice weather, and it's just a great place to be.
Hi, I'm Zach Stasiak of the Toledo Walleye, and you're watching ECHL Week.
The new ECHL Week podcast has dropped. This time we talk with longtime Wheeling Nailers play-by-play man DJ Abasella, who, among other things, talks about the future of the physical aspect of hockey. Here's a preview.
As far as where I see it going with the physicality, I think that there's definitely a focus on trying to make the game safer. And with that, I'm saying, like we said, the slashes. Look, that I think the best way to describe why the slashes are the way they are, they're encouraging guys to skate. A guy's not going to slash him if he's using his feet, getting back, defending properly. He's going to slash because he's usually chasing and he's trying to get back into the play. There's no need for something like that. It's completely useless, so it encourages, again, that speed and skill to take over. Get on your feet, get back, and get into a defensive position. So I think that ultimately will make it better going forward, and I think that'll cut down on that side of things.
This ECHL Week Speak podcast is among those available right now. Find it on SoundCloud by searching ECHL Week.
Our weekly news segment, When ECHL Week Continues.
If you feel that passion is just a start, if you think practice is never over, if you believe speed limits are just for highways, and Saturday mornings aren't made for cartoons, if you try, fail, learn, laugh, repeat, compete, respect, and unite, then you belong on our team. Join now at team.ccmhockey.com.
I'm Chuck Weber of the Atlanta Gladiators, and you're watching ECHL Week.
Let's take our weekly look at news from around the ECHL. Two groups formerly on opposing sides have a tentative deal to come together for the purpose of putting a new ECHL team in St. John's, Newfoundland and Labrador, according to several published reports. The team, which would join Brampton as Canadian entries in the league, could be approved by the league's Board of Governors soon after a formal application is submitted. The key to the deal will be crafting a Mile 1 Center lease agreement to the satisfaction of all involved parties. There's no concrete deadline for adding a team for 2018-19. However, the scheduling process has begun, and with only 7 months until the start of next season, time is growing short to get a yet-to-be-named team up and running. Quad City captain Tristan Grant has been suspended for 14 games after being assessed a match penalty for fighting in Sunday's game against Fort Wayne. The suspension ends Grant's season. The Mallards have 14 games left. It's the longest punishment meted out by the league this season.
Hi, I'm Jake Hildebrand of the Tulsa Oilers, and you're watching the #1 source for ECHL News, ECHL Week.
In case you've forgotten where we are, it's Toledo. Here's a look at our highlight game of the week.
Bolton steps in front of the Mallards net. It'll slide it up the near wing to Chris as Merlian through center. He crosses the Comet line. He drops to Gergo Nagy. Nagy from the near half-boards backhand centering pass. Deflected. Score! It broke off a Comet and trickled just over the goal line. The Mallards take a 1-0 lead. He shovels up the boards out through center to Polkamp 2-on-1 over the line with Glowke. Polkamp far circle drive. He scores! Matt Polkamp makes it 2-0 Mallards. He drops to Chico on the half-boards. He skates through the circle. He centers one and Shea scores! Bobby Shea cuts the Mallards' lead to 2-1 with just 1 minute, 58 seconds left in the first period. Loose in traffic in the near circle, pushed ahead by Hodgman, not out. McGrath at the near point with the drive, deflected, score! Jamie Tordif has given the Mallards a 3-1 lead. When it was ruled that he put the puck in back in the second period after it had been covered up by Kolbakov, Fort Wayne striking twice in the third. Here was Shea carrying the puck deep down to the far goal line. He rolled it in front. There was Desjardins. He jammed it in from the doorstep. Leonard was entangled out in center ice with Torta for the Mallards, as well as Amlong. Meanwhile, back down in the Mallard zone, it was Thompson walking in with a shot that broke in along the ice. Off of Ivan Kolbakov. This goal is standing. The Comets have the lead with 3 straight here in the third.
That wraps up another edition of ECHL Week from Toledo, Ohio. Thanks for watching. Make sure to follow us on all our social media channels, and also make sure to listen to ECHL Week Speak, our new podcast. We speak to a lot of interesting people. You can learn a lot about the ECHL. We'll see you next time.